Well, we're getting there. So, if you were part of yesterday's stream where I'm working on this beautiful ukulele that unfortunately got broken, and you know I'm seeing a little bit of damage right here. I wonder if this thing unfortunately maybe gotten smacked. Hopefully nobody lost their temper. I don't know. I can only my forensic science on this thing kind of ends right there. But we've made some steps today. I came in a little early so that I could glue up the fingerboard, and it's been glued for about 40 minutes right now. And I can't remove the clamps for I need to leave them on here for an hour, and thus this thing I'm not going to be able to do anything for about another 25 minutes, and so really a bummer that I couldn't get this thing done any quicker, but it did have some matching up issues, getting it to line up. It's amazing when you take a fingerboard off of an instrument like this. Yesterday it looked like I saw a little bit of an edge under the fingerboard where the surface wasn't perfectly flat, and I was absolutely right about that. Unfortunately, it wasn't done perfectly, and what I'm running into here now is a situation where money versus getting the job done. And what I would have loved to have done is what the proper fix, although this is a very affordable instrument, would have been to probably do a new fingerboard and put a new fingerboard on this to get the sides to line up just exactly right. Now it is very, very tiny. Hey Bill, what's happening, brother? Long time no see or hear from. I haven't talked to you for a while. Let me make sure I've got audio going. Yesterday, yeah, it looks like my mic is working. I had a little bit of an issue yesterday doing a live stream. With audio, it was just a mistake I had made. So we're waiting for glue to dry on this thing. I've got it all clamped up, and it's clamped up nice and tight, and I'll be able to solve the little problems that are going with the matchup on the neck, but it is as close as I could possibly get it. The actual fingerboard is narrower than the width of the neck now. I cannot explain to you why that happens. Either that or it was built like that at the factory, because it's dead on. The edges match up here and here, but they don't match up everywhere else. So it's one of those things where I'm trying to fix something, I'm not building it, so I can't make it as precise. And on top of that, I'm also battling the financial situation that the young man that owns this thing is in, where I can't, just buy a new fingerboard for him. So that's kind of where we're at with this thing. And again, unfortunately I'm kind of in a holding pattern on this thing because I've got to wait for glue to dry. But I thought I would have this thing all glued up and had enough time of it being clamped. Tight bond requires 1 hour of clamping, and at that point you can remove the clamps and your joint will hold. It's not cured yet, but you've got a good solid glue joint, and I got tons of squeeze out. It's definitely solidly glued, made really great contact all the way across the fingerboard and neck. I used a very expensive glue spreader to make sure that glue was on every bit of the fingerboard that was glued down to the neck. So that's kind of where we're at right now. Mark, what's happening? Hey, brother Mark, man, good to see you. I probably look the same as I have, except for I'm about 7 years older than when we met, so it's been about that long. So definitely got more wrinkles. So it ain't, we're all getting older. So again, we kind of have to hold still on this thing for at least another 20 minutes. So I'm gonna kind of just try and entertain you with some talk, I suppose. I don't really have much else I can do right now. And if I started something else, I'd be right in the middle of it and have to step away, so I don't want to do that. What I can do is show you the method that I'm using. I kind of introduced this yesterday as my method for lining up a neck on an instrument that's already built, and this neck has been yanked off of this ukulele. Here's the uke, and I got some word that this is kind of a Polynesian look. This was purchased and a gift. Purchased, I believe, in Hawaii. This is made in China, of course. So it's not terribly expensive, but it's a gift, and it's a very sentimental instrument, as the title describes. So let's just really quickly, I'll tell you how I'm going to line this up. And you can see right here, there's a nail, and there's a nail right there. I've driven little finishing nails into there and then clipped them off with a pair of dikes. And I've left some material sticking out of here. The idea was not to cut them off flush. And then when I put the neck on here, I'll be able to get center points for both holes that I will drill in the neck to get that thing to line up perfectly. And you know, I've double checked to make sure that these things are sticking out at very level and true, and they are. I've looked at them and eyeballed it a little bit, and they're going straight in, so I'll have a nice central point to drill a what is this, a 5/16 hole and a 7/16 hole for a 5/16 piece of dowel and a 7/16 each piece of dowel, which will in turn make this neck joint 10 times what it was from the factory. As you can see, there's absolutely no dovetail joint. All it was holding this on was the fingerboard glued to the top plywood of this instrument and glued to the side plywood of this instrument, and it probably did not take much to snap this thing off of here. So the idea here is to not necessarily glue the instrument to the side of the instrument, but to allow those dowels, when I drill my holes perfectly centered on these nails right here. I'll drill one in here, and I'll have an imprint of the nails on the neck heel to drill those holes. Does it seem like a good idea? Somebody have a better idea? I'm welcome. Now would be the time to let me know. Be prepared for a visit soon. I know, man. I keep hearing that. That's great. I wish I could come visit you. I had a bone nut made for my Harley Benton. That thing is beautiful. Z, pick it up at, oh, you pick it up at 2 p.m. Oh boy. Well, that's cool. I had a bone nut made. Good for you. That will come in handy in the recording studio. Hint, hint. All right. Let's see. So what else I got going today? My vehicle is at a shop right now, the Grande light truck. They're looking it over to see what's going on with the transmission. I'm hoping to find out that it's an electrical problem and not an actual physical problem with the tranny, and it does seem to be that. I just don't know. I won't know. They're the experts. So we'll see what happens with that. So I'm kind of waiting to hear back. I'm also waiting for delivery on a new mouse for my laptop, because the touchpad on this thing is absolute garbage. Windows machines notoriously have really terrible touchpads. This one I have to tap it twice each time to select like just to close a window, the little red X. I hit it once and I can touch the board, and it doesn't activate it. It's almost like whoops, why did I go to Sweetwater? Let me shut that off. I don't know why Reaper is open either. Let me see if I still have a live stream going. Maybe I do. Yeah, it seems like it. So I hit somehow my I have so it worked. It worked when I don't want it to work. So I have to go back to my YouTube channel here. But still, I'm having to double click to get it to actuate any of the buttons on here, which is nothing like my old one. This thing sucks. I don't know. Let me see. Can I? No, I have to manage the videos, and I have to go. Give me a second. I'm fixing a problem I just created. It's not a problem, but I'm having to double click on the YouTube. Every single thing I do on this thing, unless I really hit it hard, I'm not doing that. That's garbage. Windows is just an absolute terrible operating system. So, I mean, that's my humble opinion. And then fix all his computer. Yeah. Yeah, 75 quid. Yeah. I'll set her up for you. Yeah, so I've been really just shamefully disappointed with the machines that I have. It's buying a brand new computer and the touchpad doesn't work on it. I have to double click on everything. I mean, I know now I'm bitching, but I got to kill some time. So the problems never end. You know, I want stuff to work as expected and as if I spent the money that I spent on it. I might have spent $4 on a computer and I would expect it to work as poorly as this one does. Yeah. Yeah, all the bloat that Windows has loaded into everything, it's just really terrible. And I've been bitching about this for years, and I am literally this close. This computer is going to go back. I'm going to return it, and I've got another one coming. Or I haven't ordered the new one yet. I'll return this one, and I'll be without a laptop for a while. But I just won't tolerate this. That's just unacceptable. So, really hoping to hear back from the tranny shop. I don't know if I'll hear from them today. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. Well, that's.
I think we're still doing that. I believe.
He could have gave me a date, but just today.
What's your name?
I'm Baser.
Hang on, we're doing some band biz.
He didn't give you a day?
He couldn't give me a date. He said last week. Then I came Thursday, so I'm not gonna make any more days off as well because I'm gonna shop this thing. But I'm off today. I wrote already this morning, so I'm off right now.
Do it today. Sure, sure. Or, I mean,
Just give me a call.
yeah.
And
Let's get your name and number real quick.
sure.
And Chris talked to you already?
Oh yeah.
And what's your name?
It's Baser, Baser. And my number is 541 786 1722.
Alrighty. I'll have somebody give you a call.
Thanks, man.
Yeah.
You guys have a good day.
Yeah? Oh. He needs a day for somebody to schedule him. I'm gonna give him a call here in a little bit. Oh, so schedule for live streaming? Install for sound system. Just give it a little bit. It's gonna finish humming and he told me he could follow
I'm sending a text, you guys, so forgive me for being quiet. I've got to kill some time. I was hoping to be able to do this, but that's not how it goes sometimes. Okay, trying to get to a gig early next weekend because we have some adjusting to do on our sound system with the band. We've had some technical problems with IEMs and such, and I believe that our gain structure on our board is not set up correctly right now. And I'm the one that does all of it, so I don't want to get there, get done sound checking, and then play immediately. I want to warm up. I need a little. I always enjoy a little time to be able to do some circle of fourths exercises and play a few scales to get myself warmed up to play, so that I play at the top of my game. If you gotta just show up and all I do is sound check everything, and then blip, I gotta play, I'm not a real fan of doing that. Let's see, tech shit being my former live stuff. Yep. Somebody's trying to sell me a QR code scanner. Check this out. Let me show you. You probably don't have an Android phone, but right there is a QR code reader. So I just point my camera at something, and it's just find QR code, and you put it inside those brackets. Yeah, don't buy a QR code.
This is Joey. I'm Chris's son.
Okay, cool. We're gonna leave at 2 o'clock. We play at 6 o'clock, and there's about an hour and a half drive, which we say we're leaving at 2. It'll probably be 2:15, but still. Yeah, you have a QR code reader on your phone, Bill. Please don't buy one. Let's see. Tech shit, yeah. So, got about 10 minutes at this point that I've got to wait to have this thing clamped up for a minimum of about an hour, and I'm going to go about an hour and 5 minutes on this. I've got to make sure that I follow the directions on the tight bond glue. This is the glue that I used. And I did this early this morning when I came into work a little bit early because of this. I had this stream scheduled. So I know this is not terribly exciting right now. Marshall, that's what I was thinking. Yeah, I don't know if you have an Android phone. If you're using an iPhone, I'm absolutely no help. I don't know anything about those things. But on an Android, you just pull down the top menu, and usually there's a QR code reader in there. Or you can just point your camera at a QR code, and your phone will automatically see it. You could test it. I don't know. You could test it on a computer screen. I don't have a QR code on my computer here, but just find a QR code on something. Piece of mail usually has a QR code on it, and just point your camera at it on your phone and see if it doesn't show up. Your Android too. Okay, so let me just repeat my steps here. So mine's a Galaxy A14-ish camera, so I don't know how well that is showing up on here. Let me see. Let's see. I don't know where. Yeah, okay, so if I hold it up that close-ish, so I'm just gonna open the phone. I'll enter my code so you can see my phone, and we'll just close. I'll go to the desktop. Up here at the top, if I pull down right there, right here in my menu, there's a QR code reader. I don't know how well that's showing up. It's kind of a dark colored icon, but it says, calls it scan QR code, and I push on that, and it says right up here at the top of the window, find QR code. Yeah, don't buy one. Be sure not to do that. That's a scam, brother. Open the app for my Spark 2, yeah. Yeah, I just recently kind of got into scanning QR codes more than I had in the past. You know, it's easy. Like if one of my students wants to pay with Venmo or something, I can open up my Venmo account, and my QR code shows up, and they just hold their phone up to my phone, and they can pay me. And if the internet goes down here at the shop, we can do payment through my Venmo, because sometimes the internet goes down. We live in the middle of nowhere, so that does happen. And we had internet down, I don't know, until about 2 p.m. and I made a couple sales using Venmo, and I just didn't transfer the money over to the shop. But, yep. Okay, I have to go check on one other thing. I'm going to go ahead and point this down here at the instrument. You can see how many clamps. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I've got 6 clamps on it. Obviously, I don't need anything. There's nothing under this. You kind of see how it's situated here. That's what I've got. I was very careful to get all the excess glue. Really great squeeze out and all that stuff. So I've got excellent penetration. Oh, and here's one other thing. Look what I found. This thing has been missing from my bench for I don't even know how long, but I found it up at the front counter the other day. This is I've been using this at my bench for close to 8 years. Look at this thing. I mean, it is beat. It's got little dots, but this thing is so accurate and so fast. It is far superior to these ones. They put these rechargeable ones. They really messed up a great product, in my humble opinion. But these work. Don't get me wrong. They just they don't work as well as this one. That's pretty old. I can't believe I've had it that long, and it did vanish for a while. In the most undesirable spot in the world. Yes. Don't come here. The people are mean. The weather sucks, and the music scene is terrible, and did I mention the weather sucks? Now, if we have technical problems here, sometimes it takes a bit longer for those things to get solved. I have to run outside real quick. Independent, hello. Hey, I'm going to get going on this thing in just a couple of minutes. I've got to go outside and help a client real quick. I just got a message from them. It's a car deal, and then I'm going to come in and we'll start mounting this neck up, and we'll actually get into doing some work. I'm having to wait for glue to dry right now, so thank you for sharing that out, Miss Independent, and be sure, if you're not subbed to Independent Many United, to sub up to her channel, and if you're not subbed to my good friend Mark Tanner, please sub up to his channel. And Bill Keenum is one of the best guitar players in the world, and if you're not subbed up to him, you're missing out, and he is a wonderful human being. One of the big reasons I play guitar. Yeah, Independent, you don't live too far, and you know it's the population here. It's like worse than downtown New York. You know, unless you want to live in somebody's lap and they smoke, go ahead and, you know, come on over, because everybody here smokes cigarettes. The meth addiction problem is just insane. Our possessions are stolen all the time. There are random drive-by shootings. It is really a horrid place to live. Don't come here. Yeah. All right. Give me a moment. They just arrived. I heard them come in the door. What'd you get? You know what is this for? Oh, we got here. boy, parts. Okay, that'll be an interesting operation. Like it. All that stuff.
Joey? What time did you get here today? On time. That's awesome. All right. There's an install in the back. If I forget, tell Stu, tell him it's a JVC deck that's tagged that I ordered a kit and a harness for like next Wednesday or something. Okay. For a Pontiac Vibe. And we might have the stuff, but I just ordered it just to be on the safe side. Got the money in advance yesterday.
So, you want to work on something else?
Maybe.
Okay, I don't know if Mike's got you doing stuff or.
Not anymore.
Okay. So maybe or yes?
What is it? I have my food almost done, so if you want
Well, let's
to
wait till you eat lunch then.
run
We'll do
down
that.
and then I can.
That's cool. Okay, so sorry about the wait, you guys. Attention for you, Falcro. Hey, late. Richard, what's happening? I don't know. I was playing your Strat this morning. It works great, tuned to E flat, and it holds tune really well. However, I'm likely going to put 10s on it to tune to E flat. Those 9s, dude, the feel is so different on that guitar, just so you know. And I am going to use my white Strat, and I'll probably do the same thing with that, change the string gauge to 10s. And I checked the nut slots in both guitars, and they are definitely wide enough to handle that. So I won't have to change anything, but I need to put heavier gauge strings on those because 9s are just, for tuning to E flat on a Strat, oh, it's just like spaghetti. It's terrible. Yeah. Oh, no, don't be Falcor. Okay, so let's go ahead and pull the clamps off of this thing, and we can take a look a little bit at what I was talking about with the kind of imperfections in this. Again, this is not a Paul Reed Smith. It is a relatively affordable instrument. Let's just say that very generously. What brand is it? It's a. Give me a moment. It is a Luna. There it is. All right. So we've gotten the fingerboard all glued back on, and you'll be able to see here that this edge is a little bit. There's an overlap on this side, and this side is matched up perfectly. There's absolutely no gap here. So what I'm going to end up doing is scraping this down a little bit. So it's going to be discolored a little bit, but I'll fill that color with and yeah, no, this is not plate, or this doesn't have a laminate over it or anything. It's a mahogany neck, and it does have a scarf joint, which is far better than a Gibson guitar. So now I've got the pins, the screw, or I'm sorry, the finish nails driven in here, which is going to give me a center point for drilling out my holes for the dowels that we'll use to make this neck joint better than it ever was. So I'm just pushing it up against the body of the guitar, the instrument guitar. I'm going to say guitar a lot while I'm working on this because it's a Freudian slip. What I have to be sure of is to have everything aligned, because I can't, I got to be certain that we are dead center on this thing. And that is it right there. Now I am somewhat eyeballing this, somewhat. Okay, so I have little finish nails driven into the neck block, and I just need to be sure that that wood can lay down flat and it matches up nicely, and it does. Now this would be great to have an extra set of hands on this thing. There we go. There's our neck angle. All right, now I'll be able to tweak the neck angle a little bit on this. So here we go. I know this looks totally white trash. I want to check the I've got a pivot point here. There we go. Now I am going to clamp this at least temporarily, and I'm not going to clamp it real tight because I don't want this thing twisting off to the side and losing the alignment of the neck with the body of the instrument. Okay, so now I've got it held in place there. Now I can check my alignment here, and the heel of this neck, or where it's cut around the sound hole. I want you guys to see this because this is what you're dealing with. I mean, anybody can build a guitar, but go ahead and repair one that's been built cheaply and try and put your name on it. I dare you. Just tapping lightly here. Let's see what this looks like. I went too far. You can see that there it is. Right there is going to be the perfect. So here we go. Let's see. Now I can see that the neck is now making contact with the body of the instrument, and my nail holes are going to allow me to drill the holes in the exact same spot on both sides. Now, if somebody has a better idea, HB Harley Ben is a telly, yeah. He has to settle in nicely. Oh, excellent, like a boss for days. Everything, oh yeah. Oh, Falcro, I'm so glad to hear that, man. Yeah, that was fun talking about that thing, and you know what you were doing on that. I've done that on I don't even know how many instruments. Okay, so I'm gonna try and put a little bit more light on this. I may need to move the light, but let me get this angled the right way. So here are my marks. I don't know how well you'll be able to see that. Hopefully you can see me working on that. So there's my center point for the 5/16 hole, and there's my center point for the 7/16 hole. So now it's time to pull some nails, which can sometimes be one of the more difficult parts of this process, but let's see. No, they're coming out. There's I drove that nail in there, and I have a great hole for that one, and I have a great hole to start that one. Now, I am going to use small bits and extend the hole, and I'm only drilling in there. I only need these dowels. This is the small piece of dowel. I'm going to drive these in. This one will go here. This one will go here. And I'm only going to drive them in maybe a ½ inch into the body of the guitar. And they may go into this a little more than a ½ inch, maybe 3/8 of an inch. The idea there is I don't want to go too far, and I certainly don't want to weaken the neck block. But that dowel will help keep this from hopefully ever happening again. And I could, yes, I could have offset the top. I maybe could have put 2 up here. The young man doesn't have a ton of money to pay me for this work, so I'm having to be very careful about the amount of money and time that I take on this instrument. Now, I've already pulled my 5/16 and my 7/16 drill bits for this, and I measured the dowel. I know what it is. I bought it. So we're going to start with a small bit. Let's when I say small, we'll start here, right? And we're gonna go. Anybody have a better idea? I'm not hearing anybody offering me a better idea. So here we go. Now I gotta be very careful to make sure I'm drilling straight and true on this instrument. So what I'm gonna do is set it here in front of me. And a drill press would be really great to use on this, but go ahead and clamp this up in a drill press as it's built in unsquare and untrue, unplumb, right? Let me see. Move this back.
I understand.
Okay. Again, we're not going real deep with these. I don't want them to go all the way through the instrument. I'm going to up the size of this one just a tad. I like to say tad. A bit bottoms out, I'm good. Very nice. Get those ones out of the way. I'm gonna go one more. Let's go here. It would be great to be able to use a drill press to make sure that I got these drilled straight, but Okay. Oh, and also, I just got this in today. It is a set of saddles for a PV bass, a 5-string bass that belongs to a buddy of mine that plays subs for our band once in a while. He lost a couple of the pieces out of his, and so we're going to put a new bridge on his guitar. And this is for a different type of instrument, so we're going to have to mount this bridge up quite different from the one that was in his instrument. All right, so here's my 5/16 bit, and it is the exact same size as the dowel, right? So we're gonna drill this hole. I'm just double checking, yeah. I'm just increasing the size of the hole by maybe a 1/16 inch in diameter, but this is 5/16. Good. Now I need to clean this up a little bit, and I'm going to go ahead and drill this other one real quick while I'm at it. Bottoming out. Okay, so I've got to get the chunks off of here. Seeing what I'm doing here. Hopefully you can see what I'm up to here. It's a pretty big job for an affordable instrument like this. Okay, I gotta pull that chunk out of here. And I'm gonna grab my favorite scalpel and we'll scrape off the excess wood here. Now I know there are probably some techs out there who are cringing at what I'm doing, but you probably work for a shop that charges $200 an hour and probably build guitars. So, and that fits in there nice and tight. So that's my 5/16, and now I need to increase the size. Now I'm drilling a smaller hole in this one just because I don't have a lot of room in this, right? So we're gonna go move this up to the 7/16. So I'm gonna keep increasing the size of this top hole on this instrument. I always say it, anybody can build a guitar, but try and fix one. And I joke about that, you know. Doing guitar repair is definitely quite different than building a guitar. And also the outer edge, the outside of this guitar is, I keep saying guitar, this is plywood. So I'm doing my best to not blow chunks out of it. So we'll move this up a little bit. I'm just going 2 bit sizes each time I drill a hole so that I'm not blowing the hole out with a great big jump in size of the bit. And again, if somebody has a better idea of how to do this for the amount of money that I'm going to make on this, I would love to hear it. That one. I'm not too worried about this. The dowels are going to hold this in place. I'm going to leave that piece right there, see if it'll stay put. All right. And then we will jump up to this one. What size is this? This is a 13/32, and we're increasing the size up to 7/16, right? 13/32. We can do the math. I'm sure that I'm going to lose a piece of this. Yeah, that popped out of there, and that's fine. We're not too worried about that. The side of this instrument is no longer going to have any anything to do with the stability of this neck. The dowels are going to do all the work. All right, and then I'm going to jump up 1 size now, and then we'll do the 7/16 hole. Where's Robbie when you need him? I'm sure he'd be offering me all kinds of ways to do this. I wish he would pop in and say hello. It'd be great to hear what his ideas are. Okay, 7/16. Here's our final hole, and we'll be able to check our dowel. Okay, got that drilled. And does this fit? Oh, by all means it does. Okay, so I've got a nice tight fit. Woo, that one is definitely tight in there. Now, what I am gonna do, let me see. Yeah. Okay. Now I've sanded this down so that I've got a nice. Sorry if you can't see what I'm doing here. I've sanded this down. Removed any of the guck off the outside of it, and now I need to cut this a little bit more square. So we'll just cut it with this little guy. Probably not too often that this type of repair will be something that you might encounter when addressing your own guitar, I don't know, maybe breaks. Now, I'm going to grab some more 220 grit. Where are you? That's not you. That's 1,000. I'm going to sand a little bit more of this. I just want to make sure to have enough of the guck removed. Here it is. I'm just going to sand a little bit more of this. Now, nobody's next stop on the world tour. How are things going in where you're at right now? I'm not going to divulge that information. I've got some wood missing off of this. I've got a big chunk out of this, so I'm going to cut this off again and start with a nice round piece of wood. In fact, I've got a hole drilled through this because I was using it. I used this as a. I remember when that happened. I was using this as a to set a not a violin, a bass. What do they call those dowels? Bridge dowel. I forgot about that. Come on. Okay, there's that. Now I'm going to sand this down. Where'd my sandpaper go? Did you guys see where? There it is. Can you see where I set my sandpaper down? Okay. We're going to sand this down a little bit, get all the guck off of it. Now, I need to be able to clamp these. So, I'm going to go grab some longer clamps. I can reach that one and I can reach that one. And then what I'll use to do this, when I go to put the neck on here, yeah, I should be able to do this. I'm going to put this in here, cut it off about a 1/2 inch, and then I've got to drill the hole deep enough in the body of the instrument or in the neck to make sure it fits properly. I've got every tool in my toolbox. Now what I'm going to do, I'm going to take my my scalpel and I'm going to create some lines in this to give the glue a way to get out without compressing so much. Yes, I said compressing so much that it won't go in there. So now it's got some paths to escape when I push the dowel in there. That's what that's all about. I hope that you could see that I did that. And I'm going to put a little bit of glue. Put a little bit of glue down inside the hole, spread it around with a brush that I have right here, All right, and then we'll put some on the dowel. All right, it's looking pretty good. I'm liking it. Come on. I'm about due for a new jug of Tight Bond. I've used almost all of it up out of this jar. Okay. I've got a glass of water over here that I can use to rinse off the brush so it doesn't get destroyed, and I can use it again, of course. There we go. And then we're going to grab the expensive glue spreader. It's a very expensive glue spreader here. All right. I'm going to put a little bit on the bottom here just to make sure. Good measure. Okay. I've got a wet rag right here that I use, and I'm going to go ahead and push this dowel in here. I know you probably can't see me doing this, but okay. Now, again, got it. There we go. So that one is now in there and nice and glued, and I'll cut that off so I can clamp it. And I'm going to cut it off a little bit longer than it needs to be. Hope everybody's having a really great Tuesday. Mine's gonna turn out to be really freaking awesome, I think. Whoop. Okay. Now, I'm gonna see if I can push this in any further with a clamp. Nope. So that is definitely done. I'm going to take a brush here and make sure to get any of the glue, the excess glue, off of the outside of this. Pretty cool stuff, huh? You don't get to see this. Don't get to see this every day. Kind of fun. This is the kind of stuff that I love. That like Dave's World of Fun stuff. He does this kind of, you know, pretty intense work. It's really fun to watch. All right, so we're ready for our next piece of dowel. So I'm going to leave that clamp on there, and we will do the same thing with this. I just got this small piece of dowel because it doesn't have to be very long, and I've sanded it again, putting some lines in it so that the glue can have a place to escape. All right, and just going to wipe it off with a little bit of water. And it'll help maybe thin the glue ever so slightly so it can squeeze out. We'll put a little bit in here. Hopefully you can see what I'm doing in the video or in the movie. I love that Dave calls it a movie. My elbow's right in the middle of the movie. Love that guy. He's awesome. And he does some really great work. If you're interested in doing this kind of work, or you have repair work to do on one of your own instruments, Dave's World of Fun stuff is it is one of the premier YouTube channels to watch and learn how to repair guitars. He's amazing. that is an alarm for a student that I should have that has stopped taking lessons because he's moving.
Don't you love them all?
I do. There we go. There we go. Now, let me turn off my alarm real quick. That's kind of annoying. Oh, John, I'm going to miss seeing you, brother. John was we had become really good friends with me as his guitar instructor, and he is really turning into a great guitar player. He's played piano and keyboards for a long time in bands around town here, and he wanted to learn to play guitar, so, and he's got some pretty darn nice guitars. Very cool dude. All right. Now we'll clamp this one in place and we will wait a while. Now I'm being real gentle with this because I don't want to break the instrument.
Yeah, correct.
Right. There it is. That one's tilted down a little bit, so I'll probably make up for that in the holes that I drill in the neck, which obviously I haven't drilled these.
Red hat flush cutters.
Yes. Oh, here we go.
Thank you, sir.
Greatest tool on earth. I actually just did a setup on James and oh yeah, oh dude, great for you. Charlie, hello man. What rustic did you get? Oh yeah, the world tour. That is so cool. It's nice to be finally done working, I'm guessing. Okay, so now I'm faced with drilling holes in the neck heel. We're going to go through that whole process again. Let's see, my 7/16 is in my drill, and I've got a couple of these guys, and my 5/16 I think is right there. I got to double check, make sure 5/16. Yes. Okay, so I got a 5/16. Those are my goals, and we're going to start drilling these out. So let's just start drilling. So I can see that the bottom has a bit of an angle, so I just didn't drill it perfectly straight, which again, yes, oh, I'm sorry, you can't see what I'm doing. My camera guy, he's drinking today. I can't take the time that I would love to take on this thing to really do it. Okay. Don't go too far. That's far enough. Go a little bit further on the bigger dowel. Increase the size just a little bit. I want to be really careful with this one. This is a really small, fragile piece right here. I don't want to break it. And what I'll do when I'm done drilling these is I'll use my what are those things called? Measuring device. It's a measuring device to measure how deep they are, and then I can cut the dowels off to the proper length. Now, obviously, the way I'm doing this is not the most accurate way to make sure that a hole. Okay, that is. 9:30 seconds. All right, so here goes our 5/16. I want to double check that. Ooh. There we go. All right, so here we are. 5/16. This is the biggest hole that I have to drill in this portion of the neck. There we go. Let that thing bite and totally run away with me, or run away. Here we go. So we're done with the 5/16. Now we're just going to step it up 2 bit sizes each time on the bigger hole. And I know you can't see what I'm doing, but I don't have 2 cameras and I don't have a cameraman. I'm a very small YouTube channel. I hope everybody that's watching got a chance to see some of the Black Sabbath video I did the other day. Man, that was really amazing to watch all of those amazing musicians playing music together. Unbelievable. I mean, you have to believe it. I'm looking right at it, you know. And one more hole. Actually, I'm going to step it up 1, and then we'll go to the 7/16 on this one. And now our final hole that we're drilling. Pretty interesting, huh? All right. Now we're going to go ahead and I'm going to let that that neck sit there for a few minutes here, and just let the glue kind of harden. Or solidify a little bit. Put all of our drill bits away. I'm not going to need those anymore. I should check to see if my new mouse pad or my new Bluetooth roller mouse arrived, so that I can not have to use this shitty, this terrible touchpad on my brand spanking new Lenovo computer, Windows machine, mind you. Let's see, did they deliver it? Usually this stuff shows up around 1 o'clock. No problem at all. Thinking, okay, I gotta get back. I got a lot of letters. We got a lot of gigs coming up, and I've been having a lot of communication go back. Google Calendar, okay, yeah. Where is it? Maybe Amazon ProArch shipped. Okay. Track package delivered. It's in my mailbox. Yes. Cool. So I know that I've got that. That showed up today. That's really cool. I usually have this kind of stuff delivered here to the shop, but that one I had it sent to our private mailbox upstairs. Now, one thing I want to talk to you a little bit about when I'm doing this, setting this into place, is that I don't really want to get a bunch of glue all over the heel. I can. The only thing that was holding this on was the glue that was on this face and the glue that was on the fingerboard. No. There's these little things called CNC machines that will make a dovetail joint out of one of these, and no human actually has to touch it, and it would make this instrument immensely better, and this probably wouldn't have happened. Although I will say this, if it hadn't happened, if the neck hadn't broke off of this thing, some far worse damage may have unfortunately come to this device, so or this instrument device. All right, let's measure the depth of our holes. Okay, here we go. I'm going to use my my measuring device, and I'm gonna 0, and let's just go to millimeters because it's a pretty accurate way to measure. And I'm going to measure down the side of this. Let's see. Remember. Yeah, there we go. All right, so 7.14 millimeters on the. I'm going to write these down because I'm not really ready to cut those dowels off. 7 millimeters, not 7.14. We'll just go with 7. Because 0.14 millimeters would be a little bit difficult to measure. And then this one, which actually I take that back. It wouldn't be that difficult to measure. Come on. That one's a bit deeper. That one's almost twice as deep. And I am going to cut them a little bit short, just so that I don't bottom them out. 12 millimeters. 7, 5/16, 12 on the 7/16. Okay, so now we're gonna sit here and wait for glue to dry for just a little bit longer, and we're about ready to put this neck back on there. Now, in order to do that, I need my squeezer tool and another piece of dowel. So we're going to use this, believe it or not, to clamp this whole thing together and cinch it up. If you've watched me do a neck repair or seen any of my videos, you've seen me do this before. And I may ask my help to come in and maybe give me a hand with this part of the process, but I'll make sure. We're doing stuff kind of white trash here again, you know, poor repairs. Although, you know, who has a strap that they use for tightening up a neck? Next step, oh yeah, next step coming up. Yeah, that'll be a wow. I mean, I am feeling really lucky right now. That, I mean, I don't have the means to travel to Australia. I certainly don't make enough money working to be able to buy a trip to Australia. But I'm gonna get to visit with one of my best friends, and I can't wait to get to sit in the same room, hopefully with him. We'll just see how things go. Resistant bands work great. The old resistant bands, yeah. This thing, I'll take it and put this, I've used this already, put it in there and twist it, and it just pulls it together, locks it in place. And then I don't know. I might be able to use one of my other long clamps to kind of push on the headstock on this thing. I might. I don't know. We'll see how well it goes together. It's been a while. Yeah, we should go back and look at one of the earliest. You commented on one of my repair videos, I think, dude.
I am now free and available.
2015, probably. Okay. So, let's see. Let's get the iron and stuff off of there. Get your bench clear because I got a big old bass that's got to go up there. Big old long Herkin bass. I'm gonna clean up my bench just a little bit, and we'll let you look at the neck on this thing and how beautiful it is, and the quality wood that's been used to build such a fine instrument. And I do my best to never treat any instrument differently than I would treat my own. But in some cases with budgets, I'm forced to do things a little bit differently than I would otherwise. So on that shelf in the back, up next to the, roll that cable up on that also, right next to the espresso machine.
Oh, your steamer?
My steamer. It's an espresso machine. Yeah, I'm about finishing with True Oil. Yeah, I don't, it seems like, yeah, I think I was working on a kit guitar that I had built. I've got those measurements written down right there. I think I was finishing an instrument that I had, a kit instrument that I had built. And I was doing it with, I think I did use tongue oil or something on it, on that one. In fact, I know I did. All right, so this piece of dowel, thank you, piece of dowel. All right, you ready?
Sure.
All right, so what we got to do is pull this bridge off of here, all of these.
Oh, that's what you got the thing
yeah.
for.
So we're gonna have to pull the, obviously, just get the bridge off of it, whatever it takes. That's it. And we're gonna put this one, just so you can kind of eyeball it, I'll put this part over here for you. We're gonna put this one on it. Before we do that, let's see if this is gonna cover a little bit for you. Man, I sure hope it does. So it's got 4 screws that'll hold it in. And it absolutely... There's going to be a little bit showing. What we'll do is we'll set it up. Oh, because all of them are in different positions because of the intonation. So we'll just, when you get them off of here, we'll set this on there and like try to leave anything visible on the back.
Okay.
That way it's not so visible if he's playing it to an audience. But the side to side fits great.
Awesome.
All right, so here we go. I think this has been sitting here long enough that I can pull these clamps off of here and not worry about them. The dowels pushing out, they should not be able to. Okay, so the small one, we need to go 7 millimeters. 7 millimeters is all? That's deeper than 7 millimeters. I gotta remeasure this. I just want to be sure I don't cut it too short. You always sneak it. Measure twice, cut once, right? Measure twice, cut once. let me zero this out. I wonder if I didn't have it zeroed, because that just doesn't seem right, but I'm measuring in millimeters, and you know, the United States being so wise as we are, we don't use the metric system. All right. See, now it's measuring 5.38. Does that look like 5 millimeters? It just looks deeper than that. Yeah, I'm not all the way. There we go. Let's zero this. Yeah, 7 millimeters. Okay, it looks deeper than 7 millimeters. So, what I'm gonna do is go. Where's my millimeters? Here we go. 10. Yeah, that's right. That is the right length. I can see that. So here we go. I'm going to cut it ever so slightly short, just so that I don't bottom out in there and can't. Oof. That was a little bit. 7, and then oof, careful. How flimsy these little pieces, and I'll glue these back down once I get the neck back on here. That was 7, and then 12. I want to double measure the. I'm going to double measure the. We'll zero this out. Oops, we'll zero it out. Now it's at -7, right? 0, and then we'll see how deep. Go ahead and set this on top of the instrument. They're almost one piece again. Just make sure. Yep, 12 millimeters. All right, so we'll mark this at 12 millimeters. There's my mark. I was pretty darn close on that one. Yeah, it sucked to cut something too short. Now we are going to put a little bit of sandpaper on this bad boy. Clean them a little bit more, just so we have no guck on there. And I had a piece split out of this one, which is just fine. That'll give the glue a place to escape. Okay, we're about ready to glue this thing up and squeeze it back together again. Isn't that cool? So there's my dowels. And let me see. What I'm gonna do is just kind of dry fit this real quick. Okay. So I've got that dry fit on there. I want to see if one of my clamps is long enough. I think it is. Will it reach? No, it will not. So I am definitely going to have to use the wraparound old system. Here we go. I'm going to put put this around the instrument and pull the neck back off of here. That out of the way. And get this out of the way. I'm going to shorten this strap up a bit. How goes the battle on that thing?
Pretty good.
Pretty good?
Almost got everything off.
Sweet. Okay. Put that edge back in there. Okay. Okay. I already have the slots cut in that one, and that one's got a nice open space. So here we go. We're gonna clamp it back up and glue it up and see what happens here. Now I do have another big clamp that I can put on this thing if I have to, but I think this will be enough. Oops, let's go ahead and let's do this. Got my wet rag here. We're gonna put some glue. Try and get you. Let me lift you up a little bit here. Man, I sure did make a lot of neat friends on that stream I did last Saturday. It was just super cool to have people from all over the world watching that concert, and it was pretty neat. I got an email from a couple in Brazil, and that was pretty neat to get that in email. Never expected that. Pretty neat. There we go. Alright. I'm about ready to buy a new jug. Ooh, that was way too much. Perfect. Ooh. I got glue all over the place. I'm going to wipe that off real quick. Let's not do that. I don't want to get too much glue on the face of this. Although it doesn't matter. My goal is that this thing will never come apart again. Way too much. All right. Hopefully my camera guy is getting you in the movie, getting the movie focus of the movie right.
Hey, send your dad a text and tell him that this guy wants to talk to him, and we can do it Friday.
Okay.
If he can call him and tell him we'll do it Friday
All
at
right.
noon or whatever.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
I think you did right on that.
All right. Oh, it's playing hard to get. Okay. Oh, this. Okay. There's that. Now, where's my dowel? I know you can't really see much because my hand's right in the way, but here we go. Let's see how well this works. I'm going to get my water off of my bench so I don't spill that. I would certainly do that. If anybody can spill something, it is me. I promise. I would spill air if I could do it. If it could make a mess. Oh, let's hang on there. There we go. Hey Joey.
Yeah.
I need a hand with this thing. I want you to see if you can come over here. Okay, so what I'd like you to try and do is just hold this strap right where it's at on here. Yeah, there you go. Thank you. Now I'm going to twist this let me get this by your arm. There we go. Now what's going to happen is this neck's going to start pulling together, I think. Should. I might need to go about this another way. I got a student probably showing up, of course, as soon as I glue something up. Okay, go ahead and lift your hand out of there. There we go. Push this. I want to get it up as high as I can on this. That's about as high as it'll go, isn't it? Mm-hmm. All right. Oop. Oh, I see what's going on. Okay. There we go. Let me stand this up. Yeah, there we go. Oop. Yeah, there. Come on. Boy, it is not wanting to go in there. Oh, the hole's not. Hang on. There we go. There it went. Just like it was made for it. I just had to get it straight. Okay, I've got to undo this. I forgot to glue something. Ryland's going to be here. Okay, so what I'm going to do, I forgot to put glue under the fingerboard.
Uh-oh.
Pull this back off of here. It's coming. Okay, so that went together really nicely. Let's just get some glue on here real quick. We'll use the world's most expensive glue spreader. All right. Pretty spendy glue spreader.
Yeah. Real high quality.
Yep.
Top shelf stuff.
I can't believe I forgot to do that. What a dork. All right, now it actually went together pretty easily. I got the holes lined up. All right, it is. Okay, so now I'm gonna get this back on there. Cool. It did actually get on there a little bit further than I had expected. All right. Let's do this process one more time. Have you kind of hold that up as high as you can on there.
Do you want to stand it up?
Actually, tell you what, you twist that.
Okay.
You can go the other, either way, it doesn't matter. There you go. Very good. Yeah, there you go. Okay, go ahead and
how much?
Keep going. There we go. Okay.
More?
Well, that's probably good right there. Okay.
How do you keep it like that?
Oop. Okay. So the top is not pulling in all the way. Just kind of hold it steady like that. You might need to hold on to this a little bit. There we go. Okay. Now, might need to go get my big bad boy. Yeah. Oop. Wipe this glue out of here. I got glue on you, didn't I?
Yeah, just a little bit.
Yeah. Best part about this stuff is it's water soluble. It'll wash it off. Okay.
Oh, thanks.
Okay. Yeah, it didn't.
How's it looking?
I think I might need to grab that. Set up pretty nicely. There's a little gap, but that was because of that center piece. So I want to. It matched up really nice. All right, let's see if we can. I'm going a little bit tighter with this. I don't want to break it. Got so much pressure on here. If there's a little gap over here, we're just going to have to fill it because it just wasn't cut accurately at the factory, and I didn't have time to carve all that out.
Yeah.
We kind of knew that was going to happen. Okay. So what I want to see if I can do, I'm being really careful here. I don't want to get too tight and break something.
How do you hold it there?
Well, I'm just going to hang on to it right now. Really. Sometimes with guitars, the guitar is heavy enough that the weight of the instrument will hold it in place. But
different story.
Yeah, this is a different, obviously a lot lighter. Looking at that. Okay. Get out of here. Sorry, you guys. My camera guy again. He's drinking a lot. He drinks heavily. He's terrible. Okay. And I can see that my angle here is really nice with being straight because it's just lined right up with the original glue marks. So
The holes don't line up.
they probably won't. We're probably going to have to re-drill them.
Okay.
Hey, Brother Ryland.
Hi.
Okay, give me a moment here. We might get a little bit of a late start. I just got this thing glued up.
All right.
Are you okay with time today?
Yeah, I'm good.
Okay, I want to make sure to get your full half hour in. And
No problem.
It never fails. The moment I glue something, that's when I have.
Is that a ukulele?
Yeah, well, yeah. The kid, unfortunately, he broke it, and it was a gift.
Oh.
And we had to do a pretty major repair on a really affordable instrument, and it's really sad, but it's very sentimental to him. So,
Well,
so
that's
we
really
are
nice.
doing
That's a
what
nice
we
thing
got to
to
do.
Yeah. Nice thing to do.
Well, that looks good. think we did it right, Joey.
Nice.
Yeah, we're probably going to end up having to re-drill holes in that thing.
Awesome.
I've got a student right now, so
I won't even worry about it.
yeah. You got it off of there? You got all the saddles off of that?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, and we'll work on that, getting that thing done here. Probably after lunch. You already pigged out, didn't you?
Yes, I did.
Dang. You growing kids.
I'm only growing wider at this point.
No. Man. Boy, the moment I put this top clamp on here, boy, it sure did get a whole lot better. The joint looks really good.
Nice.
Need to push down on it. All right. So, oops, sorry guys. I didn't notice I had knocked that over. Okay. So you have paid witness to gluing the neck back on this ukulele. He's a hell of a entertainment. The drop, yeah, Steve. I can't tell you. I didn't ask. But it definitely got broke, and there's a ding in the lower bout on this thing. On the like, if you were playing it, there's a ding on it, and I shudder to think. I did not ask. So, yeah. Yeah, it's pretty cool. Yeah. Okay. So Rachel Loa. Oh, Rachel Loa is here. Hopefully you got to see a little bit of this today. And forgive me, I didn't have a chance. Aloha. So this thing is all glued up, and I'm really confident that this repair, all of the joints look really nice and tight. The neck alignment looks really good. I'm going to do one other thing real quick to check this, and let's see where our alignment lies. And I can tell my blood glucose is getting a little bit low. I might need to eat something here. Oop, there goes my factory shim. We're going to put that back. I'm going to take my straight edge. Boy, that looks good. That looks really good. Oh hell yeah. We nailed it. So with that, you guys, I got to get going. I have a guitar student here. I have to get teaching. So thank you for tuning in today. Be sure to hit the thumbs up. Share away if you'd like. This is a pretty good video of how to repair something like this when it's poorly built instrument. And I think this thing is going to probably be stringing it up tomorrow. We'll say I'm going to string it up tomorrow. Okay, you guys. I've got to end the stream. So you guys have a great rest of your Tuesday. Peace.